British bureaucracy, while relatively lean, I'm sure you're surprised to hear me say that, compared to some other countries, still carries notable inefficiencies. The fact that British bureaucracy is not, let's say, as bad as Russian bureaucracy or Greek bureaucracy doesn't mean that it's in the clear. Starmer's pledge to rip up bureaucracy is a response to long-standing complaints that, despite online conveniences, the UK's bureaucratic processes can slow down investment and innovation. Unlike nations where one must report personal movements to the police or endure long in-person queues, Britain boasts efficiencies like online passport renewals and pension applications, but the inefficiencies that remain, such as delays in visa processing, regulatory obstacles, enormous queues in the NHS, illustrate areas for immediate improvement. And the problem with British bureaucracy is that, unlike in countries which have a crippling bureaucratic system, there's much less opportunity for passing little notes, what the Greeks called fakilaki, and this sort of baksheesh, this sort of bribery, which goes on in those countries. It doesn't go on so much in Britain. It means those queues are there, and it's intensified in Britain because we have so many systems at play, particularly in organisations like the NHS, where systems are handwritten systems, printed systems, and online systems are all vying for attention. And it's not just one online system, there are multiple online programs working in the NHS, and patients can easily get caught in between these systems. The bureaucracy in Britain is frustrating, partly because it doesn't work. We need to make the bureaucracy work. Starmer's call for prioritising growth over excessive regulation hints at frustrations with agencies like the Competition and Markets Authority, which has at times blocked significant tech mergers, giving Britain a reputation for being closed to business. Starmer's promise to cut red tape and promote pro-growth regulation reflects a drive to enhance the UK's appeal as a business destination and to counter the perception that Brexit has made Britain more insular. By promoting stability and clear growth-oriented policies, Starmer aims to re-establish the UK as a welcoming hub for global investors. If the UK has as much bureaucracy as Europe, which is a bigger market, people are going to go to Europe rather than Britain. Why would they go through so much paperwork for such a small market as Britain? If we are going to survive, we have to trim our bureaucracy. We have to have enough so that it works, and we have to have a bureaucracy which is lightweight. While British bureaucracy may seem, therefore, minor compared to the French bureaucratic labyrinth or the American DMV lines, it remains a thorny issue for both investors and individuals, the British, caught up in it. Britain's historical early adopter status has led to outdated systems, whether in transport or in politics, that resist modernisation. Starmer's pledge about shaking off this inertia and embracing a forward-looking, investor-friendly environment is an essential. And it should have been the rallying cry of anybody trying to implement Brexit. Brexit cannot survive with British bureaucracy in its present condition. And as we are committed to Brexit, we need to make Brexit work. We need to trim back the bureaucracy. And it's not a matter of simply doing a Cameron, we have one piece of legislation and we get rid of three. It's not a statistical trimming. It's an intelligent trimming. Get rid of the stuff that doesn't work. And if you have four pieces of bureaucracy doing the same job, three of them have to go. And one of them has to be made to work efficiently. That makes sense. Everything else is nonsense. And one of the problems with bureaucracy is it keeps a lot of people employed. I'm afraid we have to bite that bullet. Because I tell a story, and I will tell it now, so be warned, that when I had cancer, I was told that I had a T3, T4, which is quite severe. And because of various nonsenses that took place, because people didn't follow the bureaucratic process, because people didn't follow what they said they were going to do, I was given the wrong blood product. And as a result, after my surgery, I started bleeding profusely. And I was brought back into hospital. Unfortunately, I bled over my paperwork. So I tried to get a copy of that paperwork. In that paperwork, all the designations of the sort of cancer that I had were changed. The treatment was changed. In fact, the paperwork that I was given by my GP bore no resemblance at all to the paperwork I'd originally seen. I cleaned the original paperwork. I have the two. I can compare them. There is no point of reference between the two. First of all, they look different. But secondly, the information in them is wildly different. In one piece of paperwork, I'm referred to as Mrs. It's extraordinary. Consistently. Yeah, you could say it's an oversight. But it's that level of bureaucratic stupidity which led to the hematology department not giving me the correct blood treatment because I'm on the haemophilia spectrum. They gave me something off the shelf as opposed to something very specific which I advised, and which, beyond everything else, I carry a little card that actually has this drug specified. What is the point of carrying the little card if that information is then ignored? And it's that level of bureaucratic stupidity which needs to be addressed. So it's not simply a matter of my saying, oh, somebody made a mistake. It's a matter of saying, how do we end up with two bits of paperwork which are so radically different? And until we have one bit of paperwork to sum up what's happened to a patient, the NHS will continue to fail. Because it is failing. And it's not the hard work of the doctors or the nurses or the cleaners or the people who regulate the machines. It's the failure of the bureaucracy that is neither consistent nor efficient, that is over-duplicated, keeping a lot of pen pushers in work who should frankly go off and do something useful. Or better still, work together to clean up the bureaucratic mess that they are currently perpetuating.